and happy Wednesday. I am here with your last video for today. It is your science video on space, and we are actually finishing up on space today. We are finishing up our space book. We had a page on the sun, a page on the moon, a page on the earth. On Monday we did the solar system, and today we are going to do stars. We're going to start off with a YouTube video, a Storybots song on stars to kind of give you a little bit of information about stars, but I'm more going to focus on constellations, okay? The makeup of stars to create the pictures that are in the skies. Those are my favorite. Stars, I absolutely love stars. I will spend all night outside just looking at the stars, and my favorite thing, one of my favorite field trips that I like to go on is to the planetarium. So we're going to more focus our last page on constellations. So I have a Storybot quick song on stars to, like I said, to kind of introduce stars to you and kind of give you a few facts about stars. And then I have a brain pop, not a brain pop junior, but a brain pop on constellations. And then I will show you what your last page is going to be. So I'm going to turn you around. So if you can see here, this is, if you watched my video on Monday when I talked about the solar system, this song right here that my finger is on, this one right here, okay, Storybots, Outer Space, Planet, Sun, Moon, Earth, and Stars, Solar System Super Song. It's 15 minutes long, too long for me to show you on here, but this is a great video, a fun video song by Storybots, which I know you guys love, all about space, really. I mean, it hits on the sun, the moon, the earth, the stars, the solar system, everything that we're focusing on during our space unit. I also said that you could have watched Lost in Space, Magic School Bus. That's another really good video as well. But we're going to do this one. So if you are on your own computer, it's called Outer Space, I'm a Star, and it's by Storybots as well, and it's only a minute long. So we are going to do this one.
Storybots. Do you see anything? The stars are out tonight. I'm a star. 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 I'm a big, big star. I'm a star from afar. Yes, you are. So am I. Your balls of hot gas that shine in the sky. There are trillions and trillions of us. That's a lot. Even the sun is a star. So there are lots of other stars.
Like him.
And me. And me. And a bunch of us together form a galaxy. There's billions of galaxies. That's a star.
Understand?
There's more stars in space than all of Earth's grains of sand. From land with your eye to the night sky display,
You can see the Earth's galaxy,
the Milky Way. Stars are different sizes.
and we can more.
There are supergiants,
Main sequence,
and dwarfs,
and we form constellations.
which are patterns of stars. Before GPS, that's how you know where you are. We're the Big Dipper. We're the Belt of Orion. We're the Gemini Twin. We're Leo's Orion. People think we twinkle, but that's not true. The light's just playing tricks when it shines on you.
And shooting stars aren't
No,
stars.
they're not. They're meteors burning up when they get too hot. Wish upon a star.
Might come true.
Well, I hope. Look up in the night sky or look through a telescope.
I'm a star.
I'm a star. I'm a star. I'm a star. I'm a star. I'm a big, big star. There are lots and lots of stars. That's true. There really are. I made a wish. What was it? I'm not telling.
All right, so there's that one on stars. It's a fun one. It's a quick one, so if you want to listen to it again, you can rewind it and listen to it again. Something that I thought was interesting, even as far as I can think, you look at the stars and you do see them twinkle, but it's like the illusion to the eye. They're actually not twinkling, but it's just the illusion to the eye. So I thought that that's interesting that stars don't twinkle. And then all the different kinds of stars, the different colors of stars, is pretty interesting too as well. Stars are so cool. So I would encourage you to watch that other Storybots video if you have some time. But now we're going to go into constellations. So they did mention constellations in the star video. They said it's a pattern of stars to create a picture in the sky. Think about the Big Dipper. That's a constellation. The Little Dipper, Leo the Lion. There's one called Cancer. There's a lot. Oh my gosh. Tons of constellations in the sky. And it's pretty cool. There are certain, Orion's Belt is another one. There are certain constellations that you can see during different times of the year. But we are going to watch a Brain Pop. So this isn't on Brain Pop Junior. This is on Brain Pop, which is also a free subscription during this time. So if you want to log on to that, you can, because they have, I'm going to show you here. Turn you back around while I keep talking. Okay, here is Brain Pop. So it's Moby and Tim instead of Moby and Annie. But they have a lot. So they have like the life cycle of a star. They have one on the sun. They have one on asteroids, the Milky Way, black holes, galaxies, constellations. So they have a lot more on here that you can check out. So if you want to do it on your own computer, you can. Or you can watch it here with us. We are just going to do the one on constellations. So, now remember it's Brain Pop. So it's going to be a little bit, not Brain Pop Junior. So, here we go.
Okay, here's mine. Scorpio. You will be especially thoughtful today, and your curiosity will be strong. Also, someone close to you is planning to squirt you with a hose. Nah, I don't believe in these things. Oh, but here's yours. Cancer. Today, like all days, is a good time to act destructively without any regard to the consequences. If there's a hose around, you know what to... Ah, stop it! Astrology isn't a science. It's not real. Dear Tim and Moby, what are constellations? From Corwin. That's a good question, Corwin, and there are actually two answers. To you or me, a constellation is a pattern of bright, highly visible stars, like Orion. But to astronomers, constellations are specific regions of the sky around those patterns. Astronomers have divided the celestial sphere into 88 of these constellations. The celestial sphere is how we see the universe from our position on Earth. It's basically an imaginary ball with us at the center and stars sprinkled all over it. Each one of the sphere's 88 constellations contains thousands, even millions of visible stars and galaxies. Yeah, it's sort of like the way America is divided into 50 states. It makes it easier to describe where something's located. Like if an astronomer says she found something new in Orion, other astronomers will know which area of the sky to check. Right, in ancient times, constellations represented some kind of picture. For example, Pisces was supposed to look like two fish, tied together by the tail, while Ursa Major was a large bear. Usually, the pictures were associated with myths. The ancient Greeks believed that Orion was a mighty hunter who the god Zeus placed in the sky after his death. The constellations Canis Major and Canis Minor are his dogs, and Scorpius is the scorpion that killed him. Most of the constellations we know originally came from ancient Greece, Rome, and the Middle East. But ancient cultures all over the world, from China to Mexico, had different systems based on their own mythologies. The stars in all constellations are part of the Milky Way galaxy, same as us. But they're not necessarily that close to one another. In fact, a constellation's stars are sometimes thousands of light years apart. The pattern depends on our perspective, looking outward from Earth. If you traveled away, far from the Earth, the shapes would gradually come apart. And if you lived in another solar system, the sky would look completely different. In fact, in the Earth's southern hemisphere, the sky is different. You can see some constellations that aren't visible in the northern hemisphere, and other constellations appear upside down. True, the Earth's rotation keeps constellations on the move. They rise in the east and set in the west every night, the same way the sun rises and sets each day. On top of that, our view of the universe slowly changes as the Earth revolves around the Sun. For example, the constellation Cygnus can only be seen from May to January, while Orion is visible from November to February. The exceptions are circumpolar constellations. They're located above the Earth's poles, so they don't rise or set each night, and they're visible all year round. Ursa Minor, or the Little Bear, is one of these. It contains Polaris, known as the North Star. Since ancient times, sailors, explorers, and plain old hikers have used it to figure out which way is north. I was just getting to that. 12 of the best-known constellations are on the same plane as the Earth's orbit around the Sun. These zodiac constellations are found in the ecliptic, the narrow band of sky that the Sun travels across each day. In other words, the Sun appears to pass through them, though you can't see that because it happens in the daytime. At night, you'll see whichever zodiac constellations are opposite the daytime ones. Ancient astronomers used the zodiac as a calendar, and also as a kind of star map, just like astronomers today. Nope, none of that astrology or horoscope stuff is true. The position of the Earth when you were born has nothing to do with your personality, or your future, or anything really. What do you mean that's so like a Virgo? That's not even my sign.
All right, so brain pop on constellations. What you're going to do is you are going to pick a constellation that you want to make. This is our last page in our space book, and I'm going to show you it right now, okay? You're going to label it My Constellation. This is not one you're creating. This is one that's obviously already created. But you're going to, My Constellation, and then you're going to write, you're going to create it. So I did the stars in orange so you could actually see them. And then it's like a connect the dots. So I did Leo the Lion. Down here, you're going to write what your constellation is. My constellation is Leo the Lion and is located in northern celestial hemisphere. Okay, so my constellation is Leo the Lion, located, I need a little hyphen there, Leo the Lion, and it's located in the northern celestial hemisphere. So that is my constellation, and then I drew it, and then I connected the dots. I didn't do this just because I know it. I know Leo the Lion. I've actually spotted Leo the Lion in the sky. But I went on to, and you can have help with an adult, I went on to Google, and I just typed in constellations, and it came up, and then images, and it came up with tons of constellations, and I found Leo because I knew I wanted to do Leo. I wasn't going to do the Big Dipper, and I was like, yeah, everyone knows Big Dipper. So I chose Leo the Lion, and I saw the stars, and I drew them on my paper, then I connected them, and then I wrote out the name. So I want you to pick a constellation that you want to do. Take a look at them. There's lots of really cool ones. Take a look at them and see which one you want to do. Create it. Write its name down here. And that is your last page in your space book. You are doing a constellation. You are all done with your space book. So, this is it. That is your science lesson for today on constellations and stars. Don't forget to check out those YouTube videos, the one Storybots on stars. You can listen to it again. It's a fun one, short one, and then the longer one that kind of incorporates everything that we just learned about in our space unit. So, space is over. My favorite thing to do. I wish we were in the classroom doing it, but you know what? We made the best of it, and I still got to teach some lessons on space to you. So, have a wonderful day. Don't forget to check out the stars at night, the moon. It's getting to be a full moon again. Don't forget to always look up and just look at the sky. So, it's very peaceful. All right, bye, Smarties. Remember to smile, be kind, and have a great day. Bye, Smarties.